Assalamualaikum. I'm Dr. Sudha Ahmed from Department of Pediatrics, Independent Medical College. Today's topic of discussion is about Guillain-Barré syndrome, that is GBS. First of all, we will discuss the case scenario. A 7-year-old boy presented with the weakness in his lower limb. There is a previous history of mild upper respiratory tract infections. Now, within a few days, there is a progressive weakness of the lower limbs. On examination, there is a weakness of lower limbs that is about 3/5. There is a absent tendon reflexes. Spinal fluid examination is normal except the raised level of proteins. There is a marked slowing of nerve conduction velocities. Now we will discuss the topic. As in this scenario, we will discuss there is a previous history of upper respiratory tract infection. It will give us a clue that this is basically a post-infectious polyneuropathy which involving the motor, but few of the cases involve the sensory system as well as the autonomic nerves. It affects people of all age group, but it is not inheritatory. This is basically a post-infectious disease, and they have a demyelinating neuropathy, and it involves the axonal regeneration, also known as acute inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. It involves the age group of a child between 4 to 9 years of age. There is a frequency of 1.9 cases per 1 lakh population. It follows the infections or immunization after 10 days, follows respiratory tract infection or GI infection. As we already discussed, this is basically a post-infectious disorder. Etiology: GIT infection caused by Campylobacter jejuni, cytomegalovirus. In respiratory tract infection, Mycoplasma, Epstein-Barr virus, and few of the vaccine like rabies and flu influenza. This is the table that shows the infectious organisms associated with GBS. It includes a long list which involves the herpes simplex virus, pox viruses, RNA viruses, and others. Pathogenesis: molecular cross-reactive immune attack by the host cells. Campylobacter jejuni, immune response directed against the capsular LPS producing antibodies that is cross-reacting with myelin to leads to demyelination. This again the diagram which shows the damage to the myelin cells. Clinical features of GBS include weakness, and then there is a description of the weakness. This is gradual and progressive. Initially, lower extremities are involved, that is, the child may be unable to walk or there is a refusal to walk. Then involve the trunk, then upper limb, then bulbar involvement. This is also called as Landry ascending paralysis. Proximal and distal muscles are involved, relatively symmetrical, but in few of the cases, in only 9% of the cases, there may be asymmetry. But in usual differential diagnosis, we will keep the symmetrical ascending paralysis as a case of GBS. Muscle tenderness at the time of onset. Paresthesia is there, and there is areflexia, that is absent reflexes. This is characteristic feature and is seen in 83% of the cases with GBS. Bulbar involvement is seen in patients in 50% of the cases. Dysphagia and facial muscles weakness and impending respiratory failure is also a feature of GBS. There is 50% of the cases there is an involvement of cranial nerves. Facial nerve, oculomotor nerves are also involved. Patients with GBS, they have an autonomic instability in the form of blood pressure fluctuations. Some of the patients having hypertension, few is having hypotension. There is postural hypotension, there is profound bradycardia, asystole, urinary involvement, and attention is seen only in 20% of the cases, and usually it is transient. We will discuss transverse myelitis, in which there is an involvement of bladder and bowel is more common. Symptoms of viral meningitis like meningoencephalitis. In few of the cases, there may be a CNS involvement in the form of ataxia and papilledema. There is a one variant of GBS that is called as a Miller-Fisher syndrome, in which along with the weakness of the lower limbs, there is an involvement of external ophthalmoplegia, ataxia and areflexia. Clinical features is seen in 49 children with GBS. We already discussed the age group is maximum in around 7 years of age. Male to female ratio is 1.2:1. Weakness is the main and characteristic feature that is seen in 73% of the cases. Pain in 55% of the cases, but pain is present only at the time of the onset. Ataxia is seen in 40% of the cases. Paresthesias are rare, and there is an involvement of the respiratory tract in the form of a shortness of the breath. Initial phase is gradually increasing involvement in last 10 to 30 days. Then there is a phase which is a short phase within 2 weeks, which is there is an improvement starts. There is a recovery phase within a month, but it usually completes in a few months. But in few of the cases, there is a motor sequelae, and there are 3% chance of relapse and recurrence. Investigations that will help to make that. This is basically a clinical diagnosis, but the labs will help, in which CSF shows raised level of CSF. The cell content of CSF is normal. Glucose is normal, and cultures for virology and bacteriology is negative. EMG studies shows motor nerve conduction velocities are greatly reduced. This is all due to the damage of the due to demyelination. There is evidence of acute denervation of muscles. Serum creatine kinase level is high or normal. Muscle biopsy appear normal in early stages, shows evidence of denervation atrophy in chronic stages, and pseudo nerve biopsy, segmented demyelination, focal inflammation, and if it is like it is post-infectious disease, it may require the serological testing for Campylobacter infections. High power image of nerve stained with standard HE. The majority of the small rounded nuclei are those of lymphocytes infiltrate in the nerve. Some residual myelinated axons can be seen. This is again the diagram which shows the nerve damage and inflammation due to lymphocytes. GBS is then further divided into some subtypes, that is acute motor sensory axonal neuropathies, which is relatively infrequent severe degeneration of motor and sensory axons. Acute motor axonal neuropathies, in which there is pure motor axonal neuropathies. Miller-Fisher syndrome, which is typical triad having ophthalmoplegia, ataxia and areflexia, and chronic IDP. It has a neurological symptoms for more than 4 weeks. Diagnosis, requirements for the diagnosis we will revise, which we already discussed. It is progressive motor weakness involving more than one extremities, areflexia or marked hyporeflexia, more than 50 monocytes to 2 granulocytes per microliter of CSF, initial absence of fever, progression over days to few weeks, onset of recovery 2 to 4 weeks after cessation of progressive relative symmetrical weakness, mild sensory symptoms are there. There is autonomical instability, cranial nerve signs, elevation of CSF proteins within 1 week of symptoms, slow nerve conduction studies, and autonomic dysfunctions are diagnostic for GBS. Differential diagnosis includes spinal cord compression from any cause, transverse myelitis, Tick's paralysis, poliomyelitis. But in cases of poliomyelitis, there is a history of unimmunized child, asymmetrical paralysis, and there is pain, then botulism and diphtheria. Treatment required in patients with GBS. Number 1, admission for observation, because there is an ascending paralysis and there are chances of involvement of respiratory muscle in within 24 hours. Few of the patients having slow progression, and these patients are also kept in the hospital with stabilization and spontaneous remission. Patients with rapidly progressive ascending paralysis They may require intravenous immunoglobulins administered for 2 to 3 days, plasmapheresis, steroids, immunosuppressive drugs. Combined administration of immunoglobulins and interferon is effective in some of the patients. Supportive care such as respiratory support, prevention of ulcers, flaccid tetraplegia, or treatment of secondary bacterial infections should be done. Spontaneous recovery began within 2 to 3 weeks. Most regain normal muscular functions. Tendon reflexes are usually the last function to recover. Improvement usually follows the gradient inverse to the direction of involvement. Bulbar and respiratory muscles involvement may lead to death if the symptoms is not recognized and treated. Three clinical features that predicts the poor prognosis. It involves if the patient is having some of the cranial nerve involvements, the patients may need intubation, maximum disability at the time of presentation. This is few of the references about the GBS at the end. Thank you.